Welcome back, collectors. As you can see, I'm with my friend Tyler from Currency Relics tonight. How's it going, Tyler?
Pretty excited to be here, my old buddy Ontario.
Me too. Tyler texted me and asked, have you noticed that a number of notes sold last month on Great Collections are turning up on eBay? Now, what are we talking about? We're talking specifically about notes from the Atlantic collection that were sold on Great Collections at the end of June. I told him I had not noticed this, so we decided to collaborate on a video about it. So, Tyler, this is all your fault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
put that blame on me.
that's right. But I'm glad you brought it up. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to take a look at 17 notes, and we're going to show you one note at a time. The final auction price, including the buyer's premium, will appear next to the grade on the top right. Then we'll show you the same note now on eBay with the current asking price. We'll discuss these as we go along and stick around because we have a lot more to say at the end. Okay. Tyler, anything to say before we start?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much got it.
Okay.
Good to go.
All right. This first note is a Series 1890 $1 Treasury note, graded 25, and it sold for $956. It is now on eBay with an asking price of $1,895. So that's almost double.
Yeah, I would say, yes, this is a really nice note. Um, it's got some small, issues in the margins, but overall, it's a really pleasing example. I actually bid on this note during that auction at Great Collections, and I got beat out obviously, but when you look at the difference in price between what it actually realized in auction
Yeah.
and what they're now listing it on eBay for, like twice the price.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just ridiculous because you can go on eBay right now on eBay and find this same note in very fine with, trimmed margins for 9.99.
Right. Right. That seems a little steep.
A little steep. Now, is this one with an offer?
Uh,
Yeah, best offer.
yes,
But
it is. Yes. And thank you for mentioning that. That's most of these notes have that. So to be fair about it, you could make the seller an offer. You don't have to pay the full price. So
you shouldn't.
yeah,
That's a little steep on this one.
a little steep. All right. Next, we have a Lazy Deuce. It's graded 15, and it sold for $3,280. It is now on eBay for $3,800. Now, this is only a 15% increase. That seems kind of fair. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I think this note, they're not really going to be making any money off of it by selling on eBay. Um, I mean, you see, it looks, I mean, with the Nationals, especially with those early Nationals,
Yeah.
it can be hard to tell with the margins if it was trimmed or just poorly cut. Um, but it's pretty faded. The seals, the overprint is pretty faded. I think maybe they got into it a little bit more than they expected,
All
and
right.
now they're just looking to make their money back.
Right. Right. Which that's
It's
fair.
a tough type.
It is. It is. Okay. The next note is a $5 demand note. That sold for $3,183. It's now on eBay with an asking price of 5,400. This is about 70%.
Yeah, that's a pretty big jump. And I think, with these demand notes, they can be really hard to find, but recently I've seen quite a few in the, VG10 to very fine 20 range come at auction lately, and
Yes.
they're not fetching $5,400.
Yeah.
I mean, even on eBay, I do a quick eBay search, let's see if anything even shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, these notes are just, I mean, it's a note that I'm missing. I mean, we got a 25 for 72.15 listed. Um, another one for 11,700. You know, on eBay, it's hard to tell with these notes.
Right.
But on Heritage, I know a VG10 recently sold for 1,800. Um, I mean, yeah, that's a lot worse. So maybe it's fair. Maybe they just got a really good deal on this one.
Right.
Um, from this Atlantic collection.
Right. Correct.
So that might be fair.
Yeah. Um, Next, we've got a $5 legal tender that sold for $559. It's now on eBay with an asking price of $1,850. That's more than double.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. That's a huge markup.
Yeah.
And looks like they're trying to sell it as being a key note, but not not many people really collect by Friedberg number when it comes to these 1862s because there's so many different variations.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't see. Man, that'd be crazy if it did sell for that price, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see what happens with
Yeah,
that
we'll
one.
see what happens. And again, this one does have the, a best offer option. So again, wheel and deal. Next is a $10 demand note, which sold for $3,825. It is now on eBay with an asking price of $5,800, about 50% increase.
Yeah, I think that might actually be somewhat fair because
Yeah,
these are really rare notes,
yes,
um, and they're not looking to triple their money. It's a
right.
pretty clean example, and with the like 13.25% um, premium that eBay takes when you sell,
Now the fees,
I
yeah,
think that might actually be fair.
yeah, I think so too. Next, we have a series 1890 $10 treasury note. This is one with the ornate back. It's graded 25 and it's sold for $2,193. It's now on eBay for $3,495. Again, well, that's about a 60% increase almost.
Yeah, I can say because I bought one in March of this year at the Baltimore show. I got a VF20 for 1,600,
Yeah,
and this one 25. I think it got a fair price,
yeah,
2,200,
yeah,
just under 22. I
yeah,
think that was fair as an auction result,
right.
and I think they're blowing it up quite a bit. Um, it's just like one of those things where it depends on how long they want to sit on it in their inventory. I know a lot of guys want to move
Right,
notes through.
right.
I think they're going to be sitting on this one for a while trying
Yeah.
to sell it.
I do love those ornate backs, though. Those are some of my favorite notes, those treasury notes from
Oh
18.
yeah, the big seal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I've always been a fan of the treasury notes. I mean, it's a beautiful note. It's a good note.
yeah, yeah. The next note is a $20 1863 legal tender, graded 15. This note sold for $1,800 and is now on eBay for $3,750. 108% increase.
Oh yeah, they're trying to double their money on that one.
Yeah,
I mean, with these notes, it can be hard to find a whole example. Usually they've got because the paper was so thin, sometimes you see missing pieces, large tears. I mean, this one in particular is pretty faded. That seal's almost gone.
right.
Um, but apart from that, it's all there. It's whole. But again, I think just typical eBay, they're asking for a little bit too much. Um, they definitely got a good deal on it at 1,800. That's a great deal.
Right.
But we'll see. These aren't popular types either. I mean, a lot of people aren't a big fan of the design. Um,
Right. True.
and they're expensive. So people just kind of hold off and they don't get them to begin with.
Right.
So I think that might be why there's such a large disparity between auction results and eBay listings.
Yes. Yes. And I would like to say I've marked all these on eBay. I'm following all of them, and so it might be fun to come back in a few months and see if they sold and what they sold for.
And if they haven't sold, just to see if the price has shifted at all, if they've
Right.
tried to come down.
Right.
Because I know, like, throughout collecting and searching and looking for things online, I've
Yep.
seen notes stay with the same dealers for years without selling, but they
Right.
just take the price down slowly.
Right. Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Right. Next, we have one of my favorite large size notes, the Decatur note. This one is graded 15 and sold for $4,219. It is now on eBay for 6,250, almost 50% markup.
Yeah, these are really tough notes. I know I had to pay up for a VG10. I paid 3,600 for mine,
Yeah.
and that was that was 2 years ago. I
Yes.
want to say May of 23. So they actually got a decent result here at auction, and I can see maybe someone who's desperate to put that type in their
Right.
collection.
Right.
They might be willing to pay that. Um, it's just a really desirable type.
Yes. And they kind of, as you say, they get real slippery in auctions. They get away real fast.
I would rather have one with the large seal though, instead of the small seal.
I see.
That's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this next note is one you certainly know about, Tyler. It's an 1869 $50 rainbow. This one sold for $6,000 and is now on eBay for $9,500. That's a little over 50%. Your
Yeah,
thoughts?
yeah. I think this is a really desirable type. I had to hold on and bid high when I got mine earlier this year, and I paid about 7,500 after all the fees, like 8,000 for mine, and a good six with pieces missing and tape. And
Yeah.
this note is a lot more whole, and it went for 6,000 at auction. I mean, we'll talk about it later. Just with as a seller,
Right.
consigning
Yes.
stuff,
Yes. Yes.
attention. But I think they're selling for an absolutely fair price here on eBay. I think that's totally fair.
Right. Right. And as we've said before, when you take into account the eBay fees, that's a reasonable rate of return there.
And, and I would say um, on types as rare as like the 1869 50,
Yeah.
sometimes like with the higher grade the note is, the more expensive they're going to be. And if you know you need a lower end piece in order to fit it in your collection, sometimes you're just going to have to pay up. And if you need one of these types and you don't have the $25,000 budget, you're going to have
Yeah.
to pay 9,500 here.
That's right. Buyers can't be choosers sometimes.
No.
Okay, next up is an 1882 $50 gold certificate. Um, Not a note you see every day either. This one sold for $2,531. It's now on eBay for $3,995.
And I think with this one in particular, that might be fair because
Yes.
you know, I have a VG10 with pieces missing, and I got that one years ago for I want to say 550, but this one is much nicer.
Yeah.
I mean, these are just really like deceptively tough notes for how many exist because there are quite a few out there. People just don't sell them. They don't hit the market.
They buy them and keep them. Yeah.
Yep, they hold on to them.
Speaking of buying one and keeping it, here's another beautiful early design, the 1880 $50 legal tender featuring Benjamin Franklin. This one grades at 20 and sold for $5,175. It's now on eBay for 6,750. Only a 30% increase on this one. So,
I think they may have purchased this one a little high, um, but it's a really clean example. I mean, I'd be really happy to have this note in this kind of condition. Um, but there's better options if you just want the type. So
yeah,
from my perspective, I wouldn't be coughing up, 67.50 for this type when I know, like you, Ontario, you can get your hands on it for a fraction of that cost.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're going for a nice, clean, very fine 20, that's a
Mhm.
fair ask.
Okay. Next is an 1891 $50 silver certificate, graded 20. This one sold for $2,716 and is now being offered on eBay for $4,395. This is about a 60% difference.
Yeah, I think it's sold for a fair price to begin with.
Yeah,
Uh, Maybe a little on the low end. Again, you're just going to see that higher premium on eBay, but this is also the most common of this design with that blue seal.
right.
It has an interesting serial number, but I don't think that's really going to get it anywhere. Anyone, it's not a binary or radar or anything crazy. Just kind of interesting to me.
Oh, and as I recall, this note I think was it pinholes maybe? So,
Yeah, I think so.
so yeah, it's a very nice note, but I'm like you, I think it sold about right to begin with. Um, Next up, we have a tombstone note. This one sold for $815 and is now being offered on eBay for $1,049. This is less than a 30% markup. I mean, personally, I think that's a reasonable uh, markup considering the fees.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I've got a fine 12 that I paid like 990 or something for,
Yeah,
if memory serves me right. So this is fair. It
yeah.
went for a good price at auction and it's selling for a fair markup. I mean, they might even they're barely making money off that.
Yeah, that's razor thin there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, this next one is a super rarity, I think. It's an 1891 $100 silver certificate, graded 20. Track and price indicates that there are only 21 of these notes known for this Friedberg number. So you don't see them at auction very often. This one
No.
sold for $14,600 and is now on eBay for $25,888.
Yeah. Well, whoever got this one freaking robbed the bank with a mask and gun. Because
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I mean, I saw this one sell and I just, I didn't have the funds to make it happen because I had made, two other big purchases. But
yes,
I mean, this one would have been the opportunity, you know, of the decade, if not a lifetime.
yeah,
Uh, it's hard to say. I mean, they're asking for twice what they got it for. It's a really rare type. A lot of people don't even consider these unless they have money. Um, so with the right person, maybe,
yeah, yeah,
but I'm not sure people want to spend that kind of money on eBay. They'd probably want to do a personal deal or
right.
ask someone to meet somewhere
Yeah,
and do an
yeah.
exchange there. Yeah, but they made out very well on this one.
Well, like you, this one is so rare. It's hard to say, and I hear what you're saying that the low 20s is probably about right for this note.
Yeah, I think I mean it's a big markup, but it's when you get to notes this rare,
Right.
the dealer has more say than the buyer.
True.
The
Very true.
dealer has a little bit more swing, at least if they know how to leverage it. But that comes down to business savvy and and just having a collector who's got to have it.
Right. Right. Very true. All right. Next is one of my dream notes, Series 1882 $500 gold certificate. This one sold for $10,280 and is now offered on eBay for $15,000. That's just under 50%.
I think this one sold expensively on great collections, actually, in my opinion.
Okay.
Uh, it looks pretty washed. There's all
Yeah.
sorts of problems. I mean, it didn't get a net grade, but there's all sorts of little problems. I think it went for, you know, a fair price, but more on the high side. So I think, I mean, anyone who is considering this type, there's a lot of better options out there,
Nicer
especially
looking.
at 15,000. Or you can just spend 16,000 and get a VF 20 or 25 from Heritage.
All
You
right.
can wait. So
A
there's better options out there.
little patience with this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
would just be patient. I would hold off.
okay. Next, we have another large $500 note. This one is a 1918 Federal Reserve note that sold for $14,000. This note is now on eBay for $25,000, our best offer.
Oh man.
It's of about 78%.
Yeah, I think this one sold for a good price. I mean, someone got a good deal and then
Right.
they're just trying to exploit that through eBay. I mean, it's a really desirable type,
Right.
and I would say it's rare, but they come up every year. If you're at this point in your collection and this is a note you want, several of these come up a year at auction.
Yes.
Um,
See them
so
frequently.
I mean, I would just be patient. I would wait it out. The serial number is low, but they're all low for, you know, these kind of types for the 500,000 large size notes.
Right. Right.
Almost all low for the
Yeah.
1918s. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a really, really clean note. It's a good
It
note.
is a good note. Okay, finally, this beautiful Series 1922 $1,000 gold certificate. It sold for $16,500 and is now being offered on eBay for $19,000. This is a difference of only 15%. I don't see any profit really here.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not sure why they're doing that because
a beautiful
I,
note.
yeah, it is a beautiful note and it's pretty clean. I've seen VF 20s sell on Heritage for, over 21,000 recently within the last 5 years.
All right.
So they're selling it extremely cheap on eBay. And I mean, I got my fine 15 1907 for about 13.2.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's sold for a really good price on great collections. I'm just not sure why they're lowballing it. We'll see. I expect this one will probably sell soon.
I think so. Yeah. Well, one of the things I've learned, putting this video together is, in my opinion, if you are a buyer of currency, either US or foreign or both, you should be checking great collections every week. Uh,
Absolutely.
their auctions are every Sunday evening. And if you're not doing this, you're really missing out. I mean, it's true the notes that we discussed tonight are above average in cost, but Great Collections has notes at all price points, as does Heritage and Stack's Bowers. You know, a lot of collectors seem to think that buying from an auction house is difficult, but it's really not. I urge you to go online and check this out for yourself. If you can buy on eBay, you can buy anywhere. What do you think,
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah, I think with eBay, it lets you be impulsive, and you'll stretch when you don't have to just because you want it and it's there to buy at any time. Um, but I recommend having some patience, browsing auction sites, and obviously looking on eBay as well. Um,
Right.
just wait for the right note because this came up. All these notes were part of the Atlantic collection on Great Collections. I don't know who owned it. I don't know where they came from. I don't know anything about
Right.
how the collection was assembled, but I do know that this was 108 lots with some small size notes,
Right.
some errors, and a lot of really nice types. And they were sold all at once on, you know, Great Collections, which doesn't have the best, you know, reputation or
Right.
notoriety
Yeah,
for,
right. They don't have the notoriety. Right.
yeah, they're not very well known for selling, rare US currency. They're known for selling coins. And I think it just went under the radar. If you're going to consign notes or,
Yeah.
should you pass or something happens to you, your family should have some sort of contact and a good idea of where to sell, not just, what to sell.
Yes.
Um, and if I was this particular person, maybe I would have put these notes in with Stack's Bowers or Heritage
Yeah.
instead of
Right.
selling on Great Collections. And I mean, at times for very fair, getting like half of what market value is. Now, Ontario, I'm curious to see, you know, between what these sold for at auction and what they may sell for on eBay or just
Right.
in general, where is fair market value
Yes.
actually at?
Where is the market? That's right. I've always heard that, something is worth what you can get another person to pay for it. And I agree with that up to a point, but just because you might get somebody to overpay you for something does not mean that's what the item is worth, you know?
Exactly.
So,
Just because there's one lunatic willing to pay, you
yeah,
know, crazy money for it. I mean, just look at 2008 and 9 when things went crazy high and then crashed and they've never
yeah,
recovered.
right. That's true. Very true. Very true. It's more important than ever for sellers and buyers to educate themselves, and do the research. Don't just sit back and let things happen, you know?
Absolutely. You have to stay vigilant.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been fun, Tyler. It really has. And I want to thank you for bringing this to the community's attention and my attention. I appreciate it, and I know the folks watching appreciate it.
Oh, of course. And this is what I enjoyed doing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can do this again sometime. And anything else before we go?
I would just say, as a closing thought, when it comes to collecting currency, there's not a whole lot out there, especially when you get to the rare stuff, but it still comes up. Even the
Right.
rare stuff comes up over
Right.
and over.
Right.
So if you miss it, if it's going for a high price, if you got time on your side like I do, you can definitely afford to wait.
Right. Correct. All right. I would appreciate it if you folks watching would take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, tell a friend, and thanks for stopping by. Good night, everyone.